Hey friends and family, so decided to kind of update you guys on where we're at. It's been a while since we let anybody know what's going on, but I don't know, maybe the last time we posted something was in India. Either way, that was a long time ago. From India we went to Thailand, went different ways, spent a little bit of time in Bangkok. Hitomi went to northern Thailand, I went to southern. Then back to Malaysia, where I explored a lot more of the city and got to do a couple of like no-gi classes at some jiu-jitsu schools there, and buy a bunch of stuff to bring to Australia because we anticipated it being way more expensive, which in a sense it is. Like some of the stuff is going out, definitely is, but if you go to like certain stores to buy like your produce, other stores to buy like more your butter, things like that, then you can do it for not that much money. And so what we did is essentially set up a new life in Australia for the next 6 months, which we're already 3 months in, but for the next 6 months, within 2 weeks we found an apartment, we got jobs, we got a car, and now we've been just kind of enjoying not moving around too much. I signed up for jiu-jitsu classes again, so that's what I've been doing with my time. Right now working as a fry cook at a fish and chip shop, and Hitomi's working at a hotel, and she just signed up for like hot yoga classes and stuff like that. So it's really nice because now we can do stuff that we couldn't do on the road, like I'm brewing kombucha. She's doing, she's got a vegetable garden going in the backyard. This is our apartment. If you guys have never gotten a chance to see. So, 2-bedroom apartment that we lucked out that we got to ourselves for the first 3 months. Now we have a roommate, but pretty cheap, cheaper definitely than what we were paying back in San Diego. And the wages here are quite a bit different. The minimum wage is about $18, and depending on what kind of work you do, if you do casual, part-time, or full-time, casual pays a little bit more. They pay more on holidays, and they pay more on weekends. So casual work for like maintenance and housekeeping can go up by like $5 or $6 on the weekend or on a holiday or whatever. But so with that, wasn't the easiest thing finding a job. We kind of lucked out because we did some volunteer work at a hotel when we first got here, and the owner offered us a job as we were looking. So that was really nice of her, and we actually have grown pretty close to her and her son and Johnny, the other gentleman that works at the hotel. And yeah, we've just kind of developed like some pretty good routines. Both of us are have been like super healthy as we can. Like we already were fairly when we were traveling, but now that we actually have a routine, it's much easier to keep up. But if anybody wants to try to move to Australia for a year, you could do exactly what we did. Or I mean, there's different ways of doing it. There's skilled labor visas that you can apply for, things like that. But our method, what we did step by step, was apply for a visa about 2 months ahead of time, 3 months maybe. The one that we got was a 362 visa, I think 362. I'll double check and I'll correct it, I guess. Which allowed us to stay here for a year and work. I've heard that other visas, you have to do more agricultural type work, but then you're going to stay for 2 years. For us, hospitality and restaurant was fine. I also worked as a shop fitter, helping actually like build up the restaurant in the shopping center, and that seemed to be okay too. But anyway, that visa, 362, ahead of time, setting up a bank account before we got here. And then what we did was find volunteer work online, so that the first couple of weeks that we were here we didn't have to pay for accommodation. And we spent those 2 weeks looking for an apartment and looking for a car. Australia is like San Diego, where everything's super far apart and it's hard to get around. So instead of spending $5 every round trip on the bus, you get a car. We put our money together, did $3 grand for a small Suzuki, and learned to drive on the opposite side of the road. And when we leave, we're gonna try to sell that car for the same amount, $3 grand. But we have hit like a couple hurdles that we weren't anticipating. The registration in Australia is actually 5 to 7 times more than it is the yearly registration back home. So something that would have cost me personally about $110, $120 for my old pickup, here is $700. So we were shocked to learn that, but it's fine, because we heard that we might get some of that money back if we don't make it to 6 months with the car, and we plan on selling it in the next 3. So we should hopefully get a little bit of money back. If not, maybe we can bring the price up a bit, because that's, you know, a fair amount of money that they're not going to have to spend now when they purchase a car, because the registration will be brand new. Also, in order to get a car, you need a roadworthy certificate, which some people online, we use Gumtree.com, which is like the Australian version of Craigslist, to find private-owned vehicles. Some people will jack up their price about $500, because if the roadworthy certificate, like when they go get checked by the mechanic, doesn't come out clean and they have to fix things, they're like trying to cover themselves. So we kind of talked to a few private parties and ended up going with the dealership, because they dropped their price in order to like accommodate us for both the roadworthy and the fact that there was some minor like scrapes and stuff with the car, but I mean, they had a mechanic on hand, so he did the roadworthy, and then they kind of facilitated the transfer of the registration. We had to go to Vic Roads, which is the Australian state of Victoria's version of the DMV, and it was really efficient and really fast, and we were on the road within like a couple days. And ever since then, things have been super smooth, just going back and forth to work. We live really close to my gym, Hitomi's yoga place, our work. It's actually about a 5-minute drive to each of those, or like a 15 to 20-minute bike ride, 30-minute walk. So at any point, we just do one of those 3 things and go to work every day and do our routines. Made some friends here already, and they've all been really cool, really friendly Australians, so that's always the case as far as I've noticed. And yeah, everything's been smooth aside from that part, smooth sailing ever since we got here. So if you guys at all want to try to do this, and you're childless and in your anywhere in your 20s, the cutoff age for this specific visa is 30. So as long as you get here before you turn 31, you can stay here for a year and do this the way that we're doing. There's other ways to do it. I'm not that familiar with those, so you might want to go to other blogs and see what those people did. But as far as us, this is what we did, and it's worked out pretty good, and we're saving up money and we're going to continue to travel. So yeah, that's about it, as compressed as I can make the last 5 months or whatever it's been since we last posted something, but that's where we're at. Alright, we'll talk to you guys soon, I guess. Bye.